What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new, series that we're starting on the channel here. Deep diving into Samurai Warriors. Now, I played a lot of Samurai Warriors. I could say that for sure. Not in the sense of immersing myself into it and really understanding it, to the point where even in this first playthrough, I don't really remember any of the stuff that I'm kind of doing. The map was familiar and everything like that. Anyway, every episode is going to be me diving into a stage for every character and giving it a rating based on this Musou meter that I've created. We've got these 4 categories here of power, strategy, drama, and personality. Now, why am I doing this and making up all this stuff for this series?
That is an excellent question.
No, but seriously, I want to learn and really immerse myself into Samurai Warriors and potentially get to the expertise level of similarity that I have with Dynasty Warriors, so I can start really comparing these franchises, putting the Warriors against each other, doing some top 10s and all the analysis stuff that I do for my Dynasty Warrior stuff. Samurai Warriors has a colorful cast as well, a lot of characters to get used to and to play with. So starting off with this first episode, I went to ChatGPT to ask what it thought it would be a great starting character, and it ended up choosing Shingen Takeda, which I thought was cool. You know, with Neo 3 around the horizon, I've seen the state of play thing. It was looking pretty cool. Shingen's looking pretty good in the game as well. I thought that was a great start. So I load up Samurai Warriors 1, because that's what we're starting with, and I go to look for him, and he's not available. So I go back to ChatGPT, and I ask, out of these 5 characters, because I don't have the option to play as Shingen right now, which would have been cool to start with, but it's fine. We have Yukimura, Hanzo, Oichi, Kenshin, or Mitsuhide to start with, and it responds with... Huh? So, yeah, you know, ChatGPT with the higher knowledge of Samurai Warriors. Anyway, jumping into the battle here with Hanzo, the Battle of Okehazama. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. This is a triple threat match, old WWE style kind of a map we got going on here between Ieyasu and the Tokugawa and the Imagawa, which is led by Yoshimoto, I believe, and then Nobunaga, Oda, and his clan, and we have a triple way bout going on here. I don't know the lore behind it or the history of why this is happening. Of course, as I keep playing and doing my own research and maybe reading the encyclopedia entries, because sometimes, you know, the games have those, maybe I'll find out why. And I guess before we jump into that, I probably should explain the categories that I mentioned earlier. So we have power, drama, strategy, and personality. Power is basically just going to be how strong I feel the character is. And just like the standard Dynasty Warriors feel, they kind of start out in your basic level. How do they feel there? And as I get more and more weapons and items and things of that nature, how does that strength and those things tie into how I feel as playing the character? Then moving into strategy, how much of the tactical element of the map, like focusing on the objectives, because Samurai Warriors seems to be different from Dynasty Warriors, having these specific objectives in the map itself versus just kind of tackling it in your own way. How much did that affect the map and my playthrough and all that stuff? Then we have drama, which is basically how cinematic was the stage. I mean, was there really cool things happening? Did any cutscenes that were really cool that happened? Did the character have any cool moments with other characters? Things like that. Samurai Warriors, from my opinion and my vague memory, seem to do really well with the drama, so I'm sure it's going to score well in most of the maps. And then finally, we have character personality, which I'm going to be looking at the character's development throughout the stages and the different games that I play, because I'm going to continue this series on with Samurai Warriors 2 and Warriors Orochi. I just want to see how they develop the characters, how do they move through the scenes, and how I like them and their personality and stuff like that. We'll be doing a 1 through 5 star rating for each character, and then we will go from there. So jumping into the Battle of Okehazama, we're starting off with Mr. again, Hanzo Hattori, the Iga Ninja himself, jumping into the battle. We start off with this really interesting cutscene. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before if you guys are Samurai Warriors fans, and I saw bits, like I vaguely remember a lot of it, but I remember being very confused when I first saw it, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm still confused with this cutscene. It's very interesting. Obviously, there's a speculation here for, I guess, the Odas, like, at the end of their reign, like they're just out of their league or something. Maybe that's what's going on here with the depiction of the Oda thing. And then we have No here with this random mysterious hologram telling this woman that she needs to kill her husband, and then, you know, Nobunaga has the dramatic alpha move of, you know, basically ripping the sword away and be like, "Kiss me, woman." Anyway, it's really cool to hear some of the voice actors in this one. We got Sao Sao as Nobunaga. I believe Sun Shangjiang was voicing Oichi a little earlier. And then to top it all off, we got our boy, as we're playing Hanzo, standing up in the trees looking like a weirdo, but he's voiced by Shu Huang's voice actor. So it was really interesting to hear that. I don't remember that, so that was a little bit of a shock there. Anyway, jumping into the battle itself, we don't have anything to prep for, so I just jumped straight on into it. And we got this three-way battle working between the Tokugawa, the Oda, and the Imagawa, I believe. I'm gonna get these names down. It's a little more familiar since I've played so much of the Samurai, not like as much as Dynasty Warriors, but I played a lot of Samurai Warrior stuff. I played 1, I played 2. I played Warriors Orochi. I've been doing a lot of Warriors Abyss, so the names are really familiar to me, and it's easier for me to like dissect and digest these people now. So starting off in the battle, we have these objectives. So I just want to follow them to see what they yield. Are those the things that get the cutscenes? I want to see how that affects the flow of battle. So during each stage, I will try to go and do every side mission that I can, depending on how the battle flows. So starting off, we make our way down to the southern portion to, I believe, assassinate Yoshimoto. So we're going down this path, and then we hit this little point where Hanzo has a nice little cutscene, and he sees his buddies jumping up. I don't know if that's his friend or not. I'm pretty sure it's an enemy ninja. Anyway, he sees him go up the mountain to, let me know that I can also do that as well, which is pretty cool to see. It's nice to see, like, the early cutscenes and stuff. Gives you that like Dynasty Warriors 5 feel that you just don't know what you're running into as you go into a stage, and I loved that feeling. So after traversing this giant mountain obstacle thing that I had to do with Hanzo, we jumped down to fight off against Yoshimoto. And then Yoshimoto and Hanzo here get this really, really awesome cutscene. Like, this is one of the best cutscenes I've seen from a Dynasty Warriors game. Like, this early, like, this is really cool. So he does like this Shadow Clone Jutsu thing, and he just murders everyone. It's absolutely beautiful. I thought it was really cool, action-packed. You got this. Why did they make this guy? Was he like a? I gotta do more research on Imagawa, but he's always been a weird character to me. Why is he like depicted like that? Then we have this nice crotch shot of Hanzo walking slowly. That was really interesting when I first saw that. But yeah, great cutscene to do that. Then we fight off against him and we kill him. He has a nice little death animation. I don't mind that at all. And then we get a new objective to take a castle. As we get towards the castle, we end up fighting, I believe, Oichi. She wasn't too bad. The level was fine in terms of the power and stuff. We'll talk about it at the end. I'll give it the little Musou meter rating. Maybe we'll go to all the Dynasty Warriors games and do the same thing with those as well. Revisit some of those and give it a Musou meter. Or I can do a retrospective thing since I know how most of the stages go. Anyway, kill Oichi here. This is the first time I've seen a retreat scene from, I don't remember how they did it, but it was just weird. And maybe because it was Oichi, but she walks into frame, pauses, looks back like a sorrowful puppy and goes, "This isn't fair."
Ow! This isn't fair!
I had myself a little giggle fit because that was absolutely hilarious. So I go back to take the castle because I thought I had to defeat her, but it was actually some guy in the castle, a Motonobu Okabe. Don't know his significance, but it's okay. We kill him, we get the castle, and then we go back to help Ieyasu, who's under attack by a lot of people. Get chased down by Nobunaga for a little bit. And Hanzo and Nobunaga have this little back and forth moment, this special dialogue. That was really cool to see. Then I try to fight this first guy by myself, and No shows up, and I'm like, this is not going well. I'm getting clipped very badly. No is super fast. So I try to get away from her. I go back to the main camp to meet up with Ieyasu, get some health, because I am getting my shit kicked. There's one thing that the earlier Warriors titles do. They definitely humble you. Anyway, I'm in the castle, or I'm in the main camp, I believe. I get some health. I get tracked down by No. I didn't know I was actually fighting Hideyoshi. I thought I was just another NPC. He totally blended in for me. Like, I didn't even know. I thought he was just another NPC guy. But when I ended up defeating all of them and I saw Hideyoshi show up on the screen, which, by the way, his name is Hideyoshi Hashiba in this game, and then it later becomes Toyotomi. I have to understand that lore as well. Definitely don't get that. And then in Dynasty Warriors 1, he was known as Tokichi. He's got a lot of names. Guy's got a lot of names. Anyway, I defeat all of them in the base. I stick around with Ieyasu for a little bit because he was having the infamous one peon thing where he's fighting like two people, and he kept crying out for help. So I really had to clear the area. I didn't want to take a chance on like losing my commander. I assume Samurai Warriors 1 is similar in terms of unforgivability. Like, if you go too far, your commander will die. So I clear out as much as I can just to get a little safety. I still want to get the other mission done, which was to clear out the remaining strongholds for the Imagawa, just to see if I got a cutscene or something special happened. So I help out Ieyasu. I go to each of the strongholds and nothing happens. I thought maybe a morale boost or something, but they just say, go fight the people now that you have them trapped, who didn't even seem like they were trying to retreat in the first place. Anyway, I go there. I want to fight Nobunaga since they did have a special interaction. Maybe defeating him would yield something special. It didn't, but you know, the XP, I guess, was nice. And then we end up fighting the last person of the Imagawa army, and that's pretty much the end of the stage there. I finished there. I get a, you know, average rating. It's like I'm back in high school. And I finished up Hanzo's first stage, and I feel pretty good. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Let's talk about his Musou meter ranking. So for power, Hanzo feels pretty strong, but there are some moments, and again, I don't have all the things unlocked. I got a new weapon with the 6-hit combo, or it says times 6, so I'm assuming I get all 6, so we'll see how that feels for the next stage. But in terms of overall power, I'd probably give Hanzo like a 3. You know, 3 out of 5. He feels pretty strong. His Musou is hard to aim, the little like lightning blade things that he shoots out. So yeah, I give it a solid 3. In terms of strategy, I felt like what I was doing didn't really impact the mission at all. I got the cool cutscenes and everything like that. I don't think it would have mattered if I didn't trigger them. So in terms of like tacticalness and pushing that, I would give it like a 2. Like even getting the stronghold didn't do anything, and didn't seem to really affect the battle. I got the cutscenes, that was great. Right into drama. I mean, this is a great start for the story. Like easy 4.5. You got the pre-movie thing. You got the cutscenes in. You got the interactions between Hanzo and Nobunaga. Even with Ieyasu, you know, he had his like basic things that he says when I'm doing well as Hanzo. That was cool to see and stuff like that. But yeah, easy 4.5 start. I mean, that was full of drama. In terms of personality, I guess I'll go with a personal feeling on how I feel about Hanzo so far. I'll give him a 4. I like his personality so far. You know, it's early in the game. It's the first stage. I don't know why he's, you know, serving Ieyasu, and he's like this protector according to what Ieyasu says during the stage. But I give him like a 4. I like his personality. I think he's a pretty stoic character there to do his job and keep everybody safe and everything like that. But yeah, that's stage 1 here, guys. That's going to be my ranking for the Musou meter. Not really sure what this series is going to be. It's mainly for me to help understand the characters and dive deeper into Samurai Warriors. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, definitely would appreciate you guys dropping a like or a sub. Let me know down below what you guys think. Anything that I'm, you know, misconstrued down below, things I don't know, help me learn, so that way I can make some dope videos for you guys and stuff like that. I understand most of the characters on a basic level, but I want to get that deeper understanding so I can make those similar videos that I make with Dynasty Warriors characters with Samurai Warriors characters, because they, you know, they got some cool characters. They got some really cool characters. So anyway, that's all I have here, guys, and I will see y'all in the next